And I think we are about to see the President and the First Lady disembark, or, I mean, to use the vernacular, get off the helicopter. Here they come. So 2 ramps have been lowered upon what is presumably Marine One. Someone who is not Donald Trump has just got off wearing a lanyard, which no doubt contains security detail and possibly some identifying characteristics. And now the world waits. And the cameras focus on the empty door. Someone has come down the other set of stairs. Some confusion as to which set of stairs the President himself may come down. And shortly, the Prince and Princess of Wales will come over to the aircraft in order to welcome the President and the First Lady. And there they are, the Prince and Princess of Wales, moving in a sombre fashion towards the left-hand staircase, I can confirm, the left-hand staircase at the top of which Donald Trump has just emerged. The Prince of Wales, of course, himself, a well-known helicopter pilot, so no doubt casting an expert eye over some of the technology. And the President now shaking hands with the Princess of Wales and the First Lady wearing a very fetching hat shaped of a purple complexion, making their way towards the castle, Windsor Castle, which American tourists often wonder why it was decided to build a castle so near to Heathrow Airport, of course. A question perhaps for the ages, or possibly tomorrow's mystery hour. And so it falls to William and Kate, the Prince and Princess of Wales, to provide escort duties to the President, who I have to tell you looks absolutely delighted to be here. His wife perhaps less so, although we probably shouldn't read too much into that. And they will make their way to the Lord Chamberlain's office for a special ceremony. So, breaking news. And there is the King. I've got a real soft spot for the King. I don't know why. But there is the King, conducting himself with all of the decorum and class that we have come to expect. Ditto the Queen. Camilla now being introduced to the President and the First Lady. Pageantry galore in place, as would be the case, I think, for all state visits, but one can't help wondering whether or not they have ramped it up to, again, another technical term, the max, for the arrival of Donald Trump, because he is so clearly enamoured of the pageantry and the trappings of royalty. King Charles now introducing the President to some of the assembled dignitaries, and no doubt as a precursor, observing the formalities. There's Private Secretary Sir Clive Alderton, the first, and his wife, Lady Alderton, the first to be introduced, and these formalities no doubt will be followed by ingress into the castle, a little bit of banter being exchanged with some of the rather splendidly uniformed members of our armed forces in attendance. And I got no doubt after well, it's not a long flight, they arrived yesterday, but no doubt an opportunity for a little bit of rest and relaxation. If someone could have a word with the helicopter pilot, I think he'd be okay to turn off the rotors now, interfering not only with the clarity of this broadcast, but also on occasion distracting me, although it is the only sound that we have from Windsor Castle, so it's possible that this commentary, in the absence of the helicopter noise in the background, it's possible that this commentary would sound even weirder and more amateurish than it does already. Yep, I think we can play back up the thank you, which at least provides some context for what is currently happening on your radio. And now a horse has arrived. Forgive me, several horses, pulling a carriage. And this is, I think, again, to use a technical term, this is known as the full Cinderella. There are 6 horses there. Spoiler alert, they will not turn back into mice at midnight, but there are 6 lavishly plumed horses there of a white or perhaps grey complexion, pulling a beautiful golden coach into which the King and the President, the Queen and the First Lady. It is, I believe, the Scottish state coach for fans of such vehicles. And it is flanked, or indeed followed, by many more horses being ridden by many more lavishly attired members of the armed forces.